Have you ever felt a quiet but relentless tension inside you, as if ordinary life no longer fully fits who you are becoming? You move through routines, conversations, and expectations, yet something within you remains restless, watchful, and deeply aware. You sense there is more beneath the surface of reality, more than what can be explained or easily named. Moments of synchronicity stop you in your tracks. Nature speaks to you in ways words cannot capture. You feel different, not better or worse, just other. And at times this difference feels isolating, confusing, or impossible to explain to those around you. You may wonder if you are imagining it, or if there is truly something rare and purposeful awakening within you. In today's video, we will gently but clearly peel back the layers of what you have been feeling. We will explore the subtle yet powerful signs that reveal the presence of a rare spiritual soul, a being whose essence resonates with the deeper rhythms of the universe. You will learn how to recognize these signs not as fantasies or coincidences, but as meaningful indicators of an expanded consciousness. We will decode why you are drawn to the unseen, why the mystical feels familiar, and why profound insight seems to move through you quietly, even when you do not seek attention or validation. This is not about labels, superiority, or escape from the world, but about understanding your inner architecture and the wisdom you carry. By the end of this video, you will no longer feel lost in your sensitivity or uncertain about your depth. You will gain language for experiences you have struggled to articulate and clarity about the quiet power moving through your awareness. Instead of questioning your nature, you will begin to honor it. This understanding can transform confusion into confidence, isolation into self-acceptance, and curiosity into purpose. If you have ever felt that you walk through this world carrying something ancient, subtle, and profound, this video may be the moment where everything finally begins to make sense. Stay with us, because what you are about to discover may change how you see yourself forever. If you resonated with what we just shared, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next profound messages for awakening souls. Your presence helps spread this light to more people. And now, take a deep breath. Let go of all the external noise, because the story that follows may be the missing piece you've been searching for all along. Section 1. Synchronicity as sacred language. Synchronicities move through your life like a quiet, deliberate rhythm, subtle yet impossible to ignore, as though the universe itself is leaning close to whisper that nothing you experience is accidental. For the rare spiritual soul, these moments arrive not as fleeting curiosities, but as living evidence that a deeper intelligence is at work beyond what the physical eyes can perceive. Repeating numbers appear precisely when your thoughts reach a turning point. Unexpected encounters place the right person before you at the exact moment you need clarity, and messages arrive with such perfect timing that coincidence no longer feels like a reasonable explanation. These experiences form a pattern, a sacred design woven gently into ordinary days, revealing an underlying harmony that guides your path. Unlike those who dismiss these signs as chance, rare spiritual souls feel their meaning instantly, often before the mind can analyze them. There is an inner recognition, a quiet knowing that each moment carries intention, that every symbol arrives with purpose. You sense how events, people, thoughts, and emotions are interlinked, moving together as parts of a greater whole. Life begins to feel less fragmented and more orchestrated, as if an unseen hand is arranging experiences in your favor, not to control you, but to remind you that you are supported, seen, and guided at every step. In this state of awareness, synchronicity transforms into a sacred language, a direct line of communication between the universe and your soul. Through it, Guidance arrives without force, reassurance comes without words, and illumination unfolds without effort. Time itself seems to soften in these moments, allowing the boundary between the material world and the metaphysical realm to blur. Past, present, and future briefly converge, offering you a glimpse of life as an intentional unfolding rather than a series of disconnected events. With each synchronistic encounter, your trust deepens, your fear dissolves, and an unshakable understanding takes root within you that your life is moving with grace, precision, and divine intention, exactly as it is meant to. Before we move into the next layer of this journey, pause for a moment and reflect on what you have just recognized within yourself. Think about the signs that have followed you, the numbers, the meetings, the moments that arrived exactly when you needed them most. If this section resonated with your own experiences, gently affirm that connection by engaging with the energy of this message. Like the video to anchor this awareness, and leave a comment sharing a synchronicity that recently appeared in your life, or simply type, "I trust the language of the universe" as a declaration of alignment. Your acknowledgement is not small. It is an active participation in the dialogue between your soul and the unseen, and it prepares you to receive what comes next. Section 2. The Call of the Unknown. For the rare spiritual soul, the ordinary world is never the final destination, it is only the threshold. Daily routines, familiar identities, and socially accepted definitions of reality feel incomplete, as though something essential lies just beyond reach. Deep within, a quiet yet persistent summons begins to stir. It is the call of the unknown, moving like a siren song through the heart and consciousness, awakening a longing that cannot be satisfied by surface-level living. This call does not arrive as curiosity alone, but as a magnetic pull toward realms of awareness that exist beyond logic, tradition, and comfort. Unlike those who find security in repetition and certainty, these souls sense that the known world is only a fragment of a much larger truth. They feel drawn toward what hides behind the veil of perception, the subtle dimensions of consciousness, energy, and meaning that most overlook or dismiss. Questions arise that have no simple answers. Who am I beyond my name and story? What exists beyond thought, beyond time, beyond form? These questions are not intellectual exercises. They are lived experiences that press gently but relentlessly on the soul. Guided by this inner pull, the rare spiritual soul begins to explore inwardly. Through meditation, dream exploration, deep contemplation, and moments of silence, they step into uncharted territory. Awareness expands, boundaries soften, the familiar sense of self dissolves and reforms in unexpected ways. In these inner landscapes, they encounter symbols, insights, memories, and truths that feel ancient yet deeply personal. This exploration is not reckless curiosity, it is instinctive, as natural as breathing, as if the soul remembers paths the mind has forgotten. Yet this journey is not without challenge. Entering the unknown requires courage and resilience, because it often demands facing what has been hidden. Inner shadows surface old wounds, suppressed fears, unhealed grief, and inherited collective pain. The darkness encountered is not external but internal, and it tests the traveler's commitment to truth. Many turn back at this threshold, but the rare spiritual soul persists, not out of arrogance or rebellion, but out of reverence for healing, for clarity, and for authenticity. What sustains them is a profound sense of purpose. They understand, often intuitively, that this journey is not an escape from life but a deeper engagement with it. Exploring the unknown is not about abandoning reality, it is about expanding it. It is a sacred pilgrimage of remembrance, a return to the soul's original nature beyond conditioning, fear, and illusion. With each step into the unknown, they recover fragments of themselves that were never truly lost, only forgotten. And in answering this call, they move closer to the truth of who they have always been. Section 3. The alchemy of transformation. Life, for the rare spiritual soul, becomes a sacred crucible in which transformation is not accidental but intentional. Every experience is received as raw material for inner alchemy. Joy is savored not for pleasure alone, but for the expansion of gratitude and presence it awakens. Sorrow is not resisted or denied, but approached with reverence, understood as a teacher carrying hidden instruction. Trials, setbacks, and unexpected challenges are no longer viewed as disruptions to the path, but as the very substance through which awakening is refined. In this way, life itself becomes the laboratory where consciousness is shaped and elevated. Adversity is not something these souls seek to escape. Instead, it is embraced as a catalyst for wisdom. They understand that true growth is not measured by a life free from pain, but by the depth of compassion, clarity, and self-awareness that pain can cultivate when met consciously. Where others may harden or retreat, rare spiritual souls soften and listen. They recognize that suffering, when met with presence, dissolves illusion and reveals truth. Pain becomes a doorway rather than a sentence, a passage through which greater understanding is born. By turning inward and facing their shadows with honesty and courage, these souls practice the deepest form of alchemy. They do not bypass fear, grief, or unresolved wounds. They sit with them, witness them, and allow their meaning to surface. Through this process, emotional weight is transformed into insight, and inner darkness becomes a source of illumination. What once felt heavy and constricting is refined into clarity, humility, and strength. This is the ancient art of turning emotional lead into spiritual gold. This transformation does not remain confined to the individual. As resilience, compassion, and wisdom take root, they naturally radiate outward. Without effort or proclamation, these souls influence the collective simply by how they move through the world. Their presence reassures others that change is possible, that suffering can be transmuted, and that growth does not require perfection, only sincerity. In embodying their own transformation, they become living reminders that profound change is not reserved for the chosen few, but available to all who dare to meet life with awareness and an open heart. Before we move into the next section, take a quiet moment to feel what this truth awakens within you. Reflect on the challenges you have faced, not as wounds or failures, but as sacred ingredients in your own process of becoming. Ask yourself, which experiences in your life have already begun to transmute pain into wisdom, and where you may be standing at the edge of a deeper transformation right now. If this resonates with your journey, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments, or simply type, "I trust my transformation," as a declaration of your willingness to alchemize every part of your path. Your reflection matters, and your awareness prepares us for the next layer of this unfolding journey. Section 4. Time as an illusion and presence as truth. For the rare spiritual soul, time slowly reveals itself not as a rigid sequence of moments governed by clocks and calendars, but as a fluid, living experience shaped by awareness itself. What most of the world experiences as pressure, urgency, or lack begins to loosen its grip as consciousness expands. These souls sense that the past and the future are not fixed destinations pulling them forward or backward, but mental constructs that dissolve the moment attention returns to the present. In this realization, time bends inward, responding to perception rather than measurement, and life begins to unfold with a quieter, more meaningful rhythm. Because they are no longer anchored to linear thinking, Rare spiritual souls are not imprisoned by what has already happened or by what might come next. Regret loses its authority, no longer replaying old stories with emotional force. Anxiety softens as well, because the imagined future no longer dominates awareness. What remains is the eternal now, a living doorway through which peace, clarity, and awakening naturally arise. In this state, the present moment is no longer something to endure on the way to something better. It becomes the sacred ground where truth is experienced directly. Through devotion to presence and the gentle discipline of mindfulness, these souls learn to quiet the constant noise of the mind. Thought slows, not through force, but through deep listening. As attention settles into the body, the breath, and the subtle movements of awareness, they attune to the hidden rhythms of existence that operate beyond language. Stillness becomes a refuge, not of emptiness, but of profound fullness. Within this inner silence, intuition sharpens, wisdom surfaces effortlessly, and creativity flows without strain. In this timeless state, perceived limitations of time and space begin to dissolve. Inspiration arrives without warning. Insight feels immediate and complete, and guidance emerges as a quiet knowing rather than a mental conclusion. Life feels less like a race against time and more like a continuous unfolding, where each moment contains everything needed. The soul recognizes that presence itself is the source of clarity, power, and divine connection. By embodying this way of being, rare spiritual souls become living reminders of a deeper truth. They teach not through explanation, but through their calm, grounded presence. Their way of moving through the world gently invites others to pause, breathe, and remember what lies beyond schedules and deadlines. In their stillness, they offer an unspoken invitation to awaken beyond the illusion of time and rediscover the truth that has always existed in the present moment. Section 5. Dreams as portals between worlds. For rare spiritual souls, dreams are not random fragments of imagination or meaningless echoes of the day. They are living gateways that open into deeper realms of consciousness, places where the limits of time, logic, and physical form dissolve. Each night, as the mind loosens its grip on control, awareness slips beyond the surface world and enters subtle dimensions where truth is communicated in symbols rather than words. In this sacred inner landscape, dreams become vivid, immersive, and emotionally charged, carrying a depth that lingers long after waking. These dreams speak the ancient language of the soul. They arrive through archetypes, recurring themes, colors, and sensations that bypass the analytical mind and move directly into intuitive knowing. A single image may hold layers of meaning, revealing hidden fears, unhealed memories, soul contracts, or future possibilities. Rather than offering literal instructions, dreams guide through metaphor, allowing wisdom to unfold gradually as the dreamer reflects, feels, and listens beneath the surface. Through conscious dream work and gentle reflection, rare spiritual souls learn to decode these messages and bring them into waking life. Patterns begin to emerge. Certain symbols repeat during moments of transition, awakening, or emotional growth. Dreams may provide healing by releasing stored emotions, reconciling fragmented aspects of the self, or offering comfort during periods of uncertainty. Others arrive as signposts, illuminating the next step on the path when the outer world feels unclear or overwhelming. In this way, dreams become bridges between the seen and the unseen, the conscious and the hidden, the human and the eternal. They allow insight from inner realms to flow into everyday awareness, shaping choices with greater clarity, alignment, and intention. For the rare spiritual soul, to honor dreams is to honor an ongoing dialogue with the deeper self, a quiet but powerful guidance system that reminds them they are never disconnected from wisdom, even while awake in the physical world. Before we move forward, take a gentle pause and reflect on your own dream world. Notice what symbols return to you, what emotions linger when you wake, and what messages seem to follow you into the daylight hours. These experiences are not accidental, they are invitations to listen more deeply to the wisdom already speaking within you. If this section resonated, let me know by liking this video and sharing your thoughts in the comments. You can also simply type, "I honor the wisdom of my dreams," as a quiet affirmation of your connection to these inner realms. As we continue, we will explore how this hidden guidance begins to shape your waking reality in even more profound ways. Section 6. Empathy and Nature as Living Communion. For the rare spiritual soul, empathy is not a concept to be understood, but a lived, embodied reality that moves through every layer of their being. They do not merely hear words or observe behavior. They sense what exists beneath the surface, feeling emotions, intentions, and unspoken truths as subtle currents within their own body. This deep sensitivity allows them to recognize the shared pulse that connects all living beings, an invisible rhythm that reveals how no experience exists in isolation. Empathy, for them, is not selective or conditional. It flows naturally, dissolving boundaries between self and other, creating an innate understanding that life is interwoven at its core. This capacity for empathy extends far beyond human relationships and opens into a profound communion with the natural world. Nature is not perceived as scenery or background, but as a living, conscious presence that offers refuge, wisdom, and belonging. Trees are felt as ancient witnesses holding memory and stability, rivers as moving prayers that cleanse and renew, mountains as guardians of stillness and perspective, and the sky as a vast mirror reflecting both expansion and surrender. In moments of overwhelm or confusion, these souls instinctively turn toward the earth, finding comfort not in distraction but in reconnection. The natural world speaks to them through sensation, silence, and subtle guidance, restoring harmony where fragmentation once lived. Through this bond, rare spiritual souls understand that separation from nature is an illusion. They recognize themselves as threads within a greater living tapestry, inseparable from the soil beneath their feet and the breath of the wind that surrounds them. This awareness carries with it a sacred responsibility, a quiet covenant of stewardship and reverence. Caring for the earth is not seen as an obligation imposed from outside, but as an act of self-honoring and soul preservation. To nurture the land, protect its waters, and respect its rhythms is to tend directly to their own inner balance. In this living communion, empathy becomes devotion, nature becomes kin, and the care of the planet reveals itself as inseparable from the care of the soul. Walking the path of the rare spiritual soul is not about standing apart from the world, but about learning how to move through it with deeper awareness, humility, and devotion to truth. Your journey is shaped by mystery, synchronicity, courage, presence, compassion, and continuous transformation. These qualities are not ornaments you collect along the way, but living currents that flow through your everyday choices, relationships, and moments of silence. They reveal themselves quietly, often when you are listening rather than seeking, surrendering rather than striving. The signs we have explored do not define you, nor do they place you above anyone else. Instead, they serve as gentle mirrors, offering glimpses into the deeper intelligence guiding your life. They remind you that your sensitivity is not a weakness, your solitude is not a mistake, and your longing for meaning is not accidental. Each synchronicity, each moment of presence, each act of compassion is part of a larger conversation between your soul and the universe, a dialogue that unfolds in perfect timing, even when the path feels uncertain. If this reflection has stirred something within you, allow it to deepen your listening. Move more slowly. Trust what arises in stillness. The rare spiritual soul does not rush toward becoming, because becoming is already happening in every breath, every intuition, every quiet act of courage. Your unfolding is sacred, and it does not need validation from the outside world. It asks only for your honesty, your presence, and your willingness to walk forward with an open heart. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to leave a comment below and write the words, ****, I trust the whispers of the universe. ***, let this be your affirmation, your declaration, and your reminder that you are supported, guided, and never walking alone on this path. Please remember to like this video and share it with someone who may need these words today. Your engagement helps this message reach other souls who are quietly awakening and searching for understanding. And when you are ready, continue your journey by watching the video below, where we go even deeper into the signs, meanings, and sacred intelligence guiding your spiritual becoming. If you feel something awakening within you, if today's messages touch your heart, subscribe to the Spiritual Flow channel right now. Every subscription not only helps the channel grow, but also helps spread light, healing, and awakening messages to souls on their journey of self-discovery. Click subscribe, turn on notifications, and continue to journey with Spiritual Flow on the path of listening to your intuition, understanding yourself deeply, and harmonizing with the sacred flow of the universe. See you in the next video.